Welcome back, everyone. Today's going to be my Witchy Wisdom Wednesday post, and today's topic is going to be on the summer solstice, as it's coming up in a couple days. This will be the first time I'm actually celebrating the solstice, as I lived in a Christian home and didn't really have the space and looked at weird when I talked about witchy stuff. But I was more accepted about stuff I did and stuff I would talk about probably about a year or two ago, which is absolutely amazing. So this year, about a couple months ago, I actually moved into my own place, and now I could actually celebrate all the holidays. And like I said, upcoming here is the summer solstice. I'll talk a little bit about what the summer solstice means to me and how I'm going to celebrate it. When I talk about the summer solstice, it is the longest day of the year, from sunrise to sundown. And I worship the Egyptian god Ra, the sun god. He rises as the sun rises in the west, and he dies in the east, and he comes back. That's the whole rebirth cycle of when Ra comes and he goes. The sun comes and it goes. So the summer solstice is a time of rebirth, transformation, and growth. And for me, when I talk about rebirth, it's having that moment in time where you do everything. It's almost like kind of like an enlightenment. You have all this time that you've done everything the same all the time, doing the same things, and then eventually you understand why you do things, why things happen, and it just clicks in your head. And it's like, okay, now I understand more things and how they work. I understand, spiritual beings such as goblins, fairies, and so on. A lot of people don't believe in those, and there are some that do. But when you talk about it, you do some research on it, and then there's like that aha moment, like, oh, okay, I understand this now. So then it becomes part of the rebirth. Your old self starts to die off, and you start to recreate yourself. As the phoenix does. I have my phoenix amulet here. The phoenix also dies and is reborn from its ashes. So, when I talk about learning new things and then using that to recreate who you are, because you're not the same person as you used to be when you were in high school doing, whatever it was you were doing. I was much an outcast. I didn't really talk to many people. I had my small group of friends. And, I didn't really believe in all this spiritual stuff. Like I said, I grew up in a Christian home, so all I knew was, the Christian faith and nothing more beyond that. And then not until about, I was 21, 22, and that's when, I started learning more about other things, other religions, and the spiritual practices that people go through. And I was just kind of learning about it, didn't really dive much into it. But eventually, I started to adapt some of the stuff to my life. And it just became me and who I am now. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm religious in a way that, I combine multiple gods and goddesses from different pantheons, and the ones that suit me, because this is my path and this is where I'm going. Everyone has their own path and knows where they're going. So they do things differently than I do, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So that was my rebirth moment around 21, 22. I started learning new things, and now my life is completely different. I'm a happier person. I'm a more giving person. I'm a more loving person. I want to help others. Back then I didn't really care for others and like just do my thing, sit back in my own little show, and I didn't care. People are gonna do what they do, and I'm gonna do what I do, and move on. But I've opened up. My old self died at one point in time, and then I just rose up and became a healer. I was, reading more about different spiritual practices, and then I got into Reiki. Reiki is an energy healing, and that's where my healing aspect started to kick off. Once I started reading about on the books, Brett Bevell, he wrote a few books, and I started reading those and got really interested in it. And then finally, that led me into finding a Reiki master, and that Reiki master, taught me everything I needed to know, and now I'm a master. I'm a Reiki master. So I love to help others instead of not caring about them. So I'm a whole new person. So I think for this solstice, for me to actually celebrate, is going to be celebrating, that new flame. This is a new flame of who I am. I think about the summer solstice. I think about summer. I think about the sun. The sun represents fire to me. Ra is a sun god, also represents fire. So to me, it's like celebrating the summer solstice with fire. I will be burning a Palo Santos stick inside of a small little bowl with a bunch of different herbs and some incense. And that's going to be my ritual fire, where I will, do my small little ritual early morning. And I'm going to be videotaping that day, so you guys can also see that too. But my ritual really goes on, it's going to go on the whole day. This is, like I said, this is my first time doing it. I'm sure I'm going to mess up things, and that's okay. Nothing's ever perfect until you've had multiple times to practice it, and that's what I'm going to do is, practice over the years now. Now that I have, my own space where I can actually celebrate different holidays and the solstices and everything like that. And so I got the ritual fire. I also have my fire poi, which I'm going to take out, at the end of the day when the sun starts to go down. I'll be spinning my poi, just having fun, feeling the fire, surround me. And as it, circles around my body, it's a purification process. It's time to purify my body and, get rid of anything negative that's been attached so that I can grow further. I can transform myself even further into my spiritual self. I have a higher self that I like to communicate with, and it'd be nice to really connect a lot more with my higher self. So that's basically the summer solstice for me. It's all, like I said, it's all about transformation, growth, and rebirth. We all have to go through something before, it's going to get worse before it gets better. A lot of people say that, and it's really true. It can't really just, it can get better from good, but you don't really learn the really good lessons until you go through the worst. That's when you learn all the really good lessons to take with you in your rebirth, in your transformation. So, for anybody else that wants to celebrate the summer solstice, I would love to learn what your guys' traditions are. Maybe we can swap ideas. You know, this is me beginning into celebrating the solstice. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say, and I hope you guys enjoy my summer solstice ritual that I will be showing you guys in a few days. You guys have a great day. Remember, this is the Witchy Wisdom Wednesdays, and I will see you guys next week with the next topic.